Bitmine is showing extreme strengths right now. From a negative day, we recovered about 4%. And this is just the beginning. We will talk about the earnings season. We will talk about the seasonality. And we will talk about what Tom Lee is saying about the earnings season. And obviously, we will talk about also the big day for Bitmine, the earnings day.
Welcome to the game. I'm the Wolf of Dubai.
Welcome to a brand new video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Danny and I'm looking for stocks that can go up 10, 20, 30, 50, 100x. I did it many times before, for example, with Tesla. And Tesla, was a stock that I talked every single day about here on this channel for many years. And my subscribers bought apartments and houses in the US. So it's very lucrative to stay subscribed or follow me on both of my channels here on YouTube and also on X. So make sure to stay tuned. Also, I never advertise any other product than my own. My own product is xtentdaytrading.com, where we have an exclusive day trading group where we professional day traders trade for you all automatically into your portfolio. If you have $10,000 or more, schedule a call with me on the website. The first link into the description, the first link into the comments. And we want to average about 8 to 15% per month, so that if you start with $10,000, you should be somewhere around like 58,000 in the first 12 months. If this is something for you and you want to benefit from the short-term trades like we did this morning for Galaxy, a fantastic trade in and out done for the day. And if you want us to do that for you totally automatically, you just switch on the software, then schedule a call because we have very limited spaces left for October. Now, if you're looking to the chart of Bitmine, you see that we had a fantastic day so far, right? So from the lows where we were at around like 51.70, we recovered over 5%. This just shows you how much strength Bitmine currently has. And also, not only that happened with Bitmine, but also Ethereum played a big role. We had here a nice very fast percent increase in value of Ethereum. But that's also because the market was a little bit red today, this morning, and then recovered also, being now break even or a little bit down still. But the most important part is now, because now we have the earnings season, and the earnings season is the most important, phase of the stock market every 3 months. Every 3 months, companies come out and say what they have done, what they see for the future. And so far, usually the earnings season start with banks and financial sectors, so JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, small regional banks. And the good thing is that many of those companies came out and said like, we're doing great, better than expected, we see a great outlook, and this is very bullish. That's number one. Second, a lot of volume comes into the market because people and hedge funds and institutions are trading. So it doesn't matter, which stock you are, lots and lots of volume comes into the market. And when the market shows already strengths like that during the earnings season, it's already a good sign, because usually a couple of weeks before the earnings start, we are in a blackout phase, is a phase where companies cannot buy back their stocks, and companies are the biggest buyers of their own stocks out there. Okay, so if you see a positive market, that means that beside the companies, those are actually institutions, retail investors, big pension funds buying shares, which is bullish as well. The only, let's say, not so big bullish sign is the regional banks, but this is better explained by our chairman, who just posted a video a few hours ago where he explained the earnings season, what he expects from the markets. And with that, let's dive in and see what Tom Lee said.
With regard to macro, I want to talk about third quarter earnings season, among other things. We are entering the heart of earnings season, and so far 84% of companies are beating by 6.2%. So it's a good earnings season so far. Last week, it was really the banks that mattered the most. Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Goldman, Citi, Bank of America, and Morgan Stanley. And they all beat solidly. 2 of these happen to be granny shots, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. JP Morgan said the consumer and small business remain resilient based on our data. While we're closely watching the potentially softening labor market, our credit metrics including early stage delinquencies, remain stable and slightly better than expected. That's a good sign. Overall, companies are expected to grow earnings 9.3% in the S&P and 43% in the small cap space. So small cap earnings growth is strong. That's a good sign to me. But it's really this week from October 20th, which is this week, through November 3rd is the heart of earnings season. You can see how many companies report each of those 3 weeks. Now, not everything's been great on earnings. I'd say that private credit has been what people have raised their eyebrows about. Tricolor Auto and First Brands Group. Well, First Brands looks like an outright fraud situation. But if you're worried about credit, just keep an eye on high yield, which has actually been spreads widened, but it's hardly alarming. It's lower than it was in April of this past year during the tariff heights. And if you look over the last 10 years, you can see 347 basis points wide is a pretty mild reaction in high yield. So it's not alarming. For the week coming ahead, there is a lot of macro, but I'd say the market's going to focus on Friday's September core CPI. Now that's going to happen even with the government shutdown. So they made an exception here to report that number. And then there's some important granny earnings this coming week: GE, Netflix, Lam Research, Tesla, and GE Vernova. And this is mapped out here. So far, only 4 of the granny shots have reported, but it's been good numbers so far. And let's talk about the government shutdown. We're in the 16th day. In 2018, it was 35 days, so it's been 7 years since we've had a shutdown, but I'm sure this is going to potentially run longer. Polymarket flipped on October 9th and now expects a very extended shutdown. In fact, 81% odds this will be more than 30 days, which means it'll go past November 1. And I want to talk about sentiment too, because the latest AAII reading came out at minus 12.4. So there's more bears than bulls. But here's the thing. The average reading this year has been minus negative 11.7. So investors have been bearish all year. Okay, it's similar to sentiment in 2022. But here's why it matters. We're down double digits on average for sentiment. The last 3 times we had negative sentiment was 1990, 2008, and 2022. Those were all bear market years. Investors are acting like we're in a bear market, yet the market's up 13% year to date. So I would call that the most hated V-shaped rally. And then as far as stock performance within the granny portfolio, the top 5 performers this past week were KLA, Kencor, American Express, AMD, Lam Research, and Broadcom. Most of these are AI or semi names. And Amex had good earnings. The bottom 5 were S&P Global, Axon, MicroStrategy, Robinhood, and Arista Networks. And as far as themes go, the number 1 performing theme has been global labor suppliers, followed by easing financial conditions, and Style Tilt. That's it for now.
So as you can see, he's also very bullish, okay? And before we diving into the next topic of this video, make sure to check out extenddaytrading.com, where we can totally trade for you and it's directly sent to your portfolio. You just have to switch on the software. It doesn't matter where you are, if you're in Asia, if you're in the US or Europe, we are all trading for you, okay? This is fantastic, guys, because there's no other product out there like that where professional day traders, a whole team is working on just a few high conviction trades per week and having this kind of results. Now, let's talk about the most important part, the earnings season. The earnings season is also important for Bitmine because in the next couple of weeks, Bitmine will also announce when they will have their first earnings. And this will be super exciting because this will be the very first earnings where actually Tom Lee is at the head and will talk about what he has for plans. And usually, I think the next big catalyst for Bitmine will be actually the announcement by Tom Lee that they will issue their staking strategy. As you might remember, the great opportunity and the great advantage to just holding Ethereum in an ETF, for example, that is not allowed to stake, Bitmine can stake and buys more and more Ethereum. And currently they are buying it very aggressively because they don't think that the Ethereum price will stay under 4,000 for very long. And even just today, we crossed again 4,000 in the price of Ethereum. So I think that this is a perfect time to announce something like this. So I think this will happen sometimes mid of November. As soon as we have the date, I will make a special dedicated video about that. And that's why you should be following me or subscribing to my channels, because you cannot miss this. If you want to invest into Bitmine or you want to know everything what is needed for your long-term investment, then you should know all of these things, okay? This is very important for an investor. You should be very much glued to the report in the earnings, what they will say, what they have for outlook, what they planned. And this kind of earnings are usually also used to announce something, because other than that, they don't have any earnings to announce. So it will be focused on other topics, in my personal belief. That's my best guess here. And this will be fantastic, because this will be one of the biggest catalysts. And then, as you know from my previous video yesterday, we are in the breakout phase of Bitmine. So we can see a huge push, and then we can see 70s. And when we cross 75, then, we should see 100 very, very, very fast. So if you like that, make sure you share this video, make sure to subscribe and follow me on X. And also make sure to check out xmdaytrading.com if you want us to trade for you. I see you obviously tomorrow with a brand new video. And don't forget, the grass is greener always on the other side.